in the interest of time, what we're going to do is we're going to take one more question for Dr. Woodsat, one for Dr. Sarkar, and one for Dr. Nelson. And then following that, Dr. Woodsat will provide a 5-minute closing commentary, and Dr. Sarkar and Dr. Nelson will each have 5 minutes for a closing remarks. So, take a question.
Dr. Wynn said that there is more in heaven and earth than is dreamt of in your philosophy ratio does not challenge evolutionary theory. As Darwin himself said, the theory of evolution is compatible with belief in God. In fact, Darwin posited an intelligent designer, God, who set in motion the laws of evolution. We have many exciting ideas in the 21st century about the ultimate nature of reality, whether the universe is actually a thought, what it means to live in multiple dimensions, and so on. Would you, as a philosopher and a biologist, comment on the proper forum for discussion of intelligent design?
I'm sorry, on the public forum?
The proper forum for discussion.
I think at this stage, the proper forum for intelligent design should be within a classroom on religion, and I also think that it probably should be within a classroom of comparative religion, because different religions differ on this. I think that's all I want to say on that. I did want to actually say something in response further to what Paul was saying at the end. It seems to me, I don't actually think Stuart Kauffman is to be counted as an opponent of evolution. I think
I didn't say that. I said he adopts about natural selection.
That's right, natural selection. All right. I wanted to say, I actually don't believe in laws of nature as opposed to mechanisms operating in the biological realm. I think the law of nature picture fits better as an exceptionalist thing and so on. And that the character of selection is stochastic in a way that I like to talk about sloppy, gappy universals. That is, regularities of behavior that have a certain amount of slop in them, so they may not make exact quantitative predictions. And they have sort of holes in them for exceptions. But those are really powerful wedges. In fact, the history of genetics worked on the wedges people found in chromosome anomalies, and that's what we should expect in the middle range. But if there were a law of nature at the macroscopic level, it would be like this. We cannot possibly make E. coli extinct, or probably not the Anopheles mosquito. And that comes from selection. Their populations are too large, too diverse, found in too many microhabitats, that nothing we could do as a species could make them go extinct. Probably a 400-mile diameter asteroid. But that's not within our power.
Question for Dr. Sarkar.
Hi, Dr. Sarkar. I wanted to ask you why it is that you don't appeal to supernatural causation in your research, and if you were to entertain the possibility, how on earth would you test supernatural causes?
If I knew, I would probably give you a better answer. But the real issue over here, and this does go back straightforwardly to a different kind of response to Paul's claims than the one that Corey presented, is we have no need for supernatural causation. It doesn't, and there are two parts to it. One of which is within the context of evolutionary biology, when you're trying to explain the origin of different features within species, the variation between species and things like that. If it is the case that we can get by using purely material causes that we know how to manipulate elsewhere and not cause it something about which we know nothing, then that's what we should do as a methodological principle somewhat connected to Occam's razor. We should not assume more than we need to. The second reason over here being is that when you want to posit a particular mechanism, admit it inside your repertoire or your toolkit, as Paul likes to call it, and use it in your explanations or in your research, then you need to know what the properties of that mechanism are. And we don't know anything about what these properties are supposed to be. At most, what we've been told is that we're supposed to infer the existence of design. We don't know what exactly will happen after we make the inference of design. And so even if I wanted introduce supernatural causation and things of this sort in something that I do in the laboratory. I don't have the ability to do so because nobody so far has told me what exactly the rules are for these mechanisms, what games they play. That's one of the things I was asking in an earlier slide. What exactly would the designer do? How do we know what the designer would want, what the constraints are on the designers? Aren't we just doing something silly and just assuming that this thing that we need to be a supernatural designer has to be thought of as something just analogous to a human designer, only somewhat more powerful? All of these things we don't know. And as a consequence, and that's part of my argument, that so far intelligent data design has been a vacuous research enterprise.